Okay, so now let's really talk about emotional regulation and how some people can take some tips on how to do that. So instead of responding to something in an emotional way, which my previous video wasn't an emotional, it was just like it's comedic to me to have people block someone that talks the truth. Like if I am saying the truth, it's comedy if someone's gonna block me. Like come to me and tell me if you don't like me. I will tell you in real life. Anyway, so emotional regulation, back to the topic. Okay, if someone's bothering you, if someone's doing something that you really dislike and it's getting under your skin, and instead of you blowing up on them, instead of you just going off on them, take a second. Take a second. So don't respond to it right away. Okay. That first video I responded to right away, but I mean, I'm not like mad about it. I like don't really care. I just think it's funny. I just think it's so funny because the way that you grow is like you rope in how they were roping in random creators, right? Anyway, you take a second and you don't say anything. You sit with yourself and you're like, all of those feelings that you're feeling, like inside, that are kind of like stressing you out, you're going to like dump them onto a journal. Instead of like dumping them into people's comments like they did to the flawed villain, instead of going and telling all of your hundreds of thousands of followers to go block somebody, like don't do that. That's actually crazy to have that behavior. Instead of doing that, like take a minute. Maybe you need to take actually a few days, because when I first started doing this, you would need to take a few days. I used to have to take like a day or two to collect myself, but now I'm at a really good peaceful point. And then take a second and you'll come back in a few hours, maybe even a day. And you'll be like, how am I going to respond to this? But see, the thing is, it's hard when you're on TikTok, because TikTok, you want to create a lot of content. You put it out regularly throughout the day, like a few TikToks a day, right? So you want to respond to people right away. And that's the problem. People are responding right away and they haven't developed emotional regulation. So when you develop emotional regulation, you look back at the problem that was really getting under your skin, and then you look at it with less tension. Say it's a guy that you're talking to, texting, and like you really dislike that he's really not responding to you right away, or you're not meeting up, or whatever the case is. I don't know. So now, and you're kind of getting annoyed by it, and then he finally texts you, maybe it's like 5 hours later, and you're like so annoyed. You're like, I don't want to text him. He didn't text me like 5 hours. So just like, don't respond to it right away, because that's like how you develop that like trauma bond with like narcissists. Take a second, and then maybe like after you do a little bit of yoga, breathing, always inhale through your nose. Let's do it together. Exhale through your nose. Do that 5 times. Tell me how you feel after that. Okay? And from there, you'll just better be able to regulate yourself and respond. I just sometimes am going to put out a video that I think is funny and ridiculous, because it is ridiculous youth behavior. I love you all so much.